Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Gal. We're gonna continue our Zelda Randomizer run here. Last we left off, we just cleared Death Mountain. We've got a pretty good selection of items. Pretty much most of the items at this point. We need the Cane of Samaria, I think, and the Lantern. Boots. I think we're gonna start off with Zora's Domain and some overworld checks with the mirror. Especially since we've got the flute. We're also checking Misery Mire to see what the required item is there. We do need Samaria to clear it. Let's see. Oh, the bow. We need the bow. So, I mentioned earlier on, this run is not going terribly well. Average time from my goal for a good run is going to be about 2 hours. I very rarely get under 2 hours. In fact, I think I've only done that once successfully. And obviously, to some degree, it depends on what your basically, you can't necessarily weigh them against each other because different setups take different amounts of time. Blue mail. Since it's random, sometimes you have to clear every dungeon, sometimes you don't. So that's just 100 rupees, we don't need that. You want to get over to ground, because Link walks more slowly on water. But yeah, no, I don't know where my timer's at, but I suspect this is going to be a run that's closer to 3 hours. Which is less good. Well, glad we did that check. Sanctuary. Still don't have the lantern, so we're kind of locked out of a couple things. Bow's gonna be the big one. So that's 2 dungeons. So Samaria, I guess. So I guess technically the thing we've got left is Ice Palace, which I hate, but I'll totally be willing to put that off by going around doing overworld checks first. So we're gonna do a little route here that's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna pick up the frog. Bombs. Not worth it. Have to go out and back in. Nope. But that unlocks the treasure chest. So we can run down here. And enter caves with the treasure chest. Yeah, we'll get that, sure. Actually really good on health, especially now that we've got the blue mail, but... And we do have a fairy. For better or worse. Because technically that can cause problems, but... I'm gonna enter that from the top so we don't clip into a bush. Sometimes it'll mess you up if you do. Seriously? Apparently I accidentally pushed A. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Okay, so apparently I accidentally disengaged the treasure chest there for a second, and it was lost in the ether, so we have to start that quest over again, which means we're not doing it. Hey, they fixed that. They must have fixed that glitch, because there's Cane of Samaria. Let's see what we need for Misery Mire. So if this is Quake, we can clear it. Ether still. So vanilla there. So we may not be able to do that yet. We'll still get the treasure chests and the mirror one on the other side in the desert. That also means that Ice Palace is less terrible, because we can use the block instead of having to do a second time around and push the other block. You can use Samaria to basically cheese Ice Palace instead of having to go through the whole dungeon twice. This is another one where you can see what it is ahead of time. I'm trying to think if there's other... I mean, like, there's the top of the lake shore, but I don't feel like that's worth going to. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go to ice. We can check the island and the hobo quick, and then we'll go to ice. Island is 50 rupees. So we're not going to go back and get the purple treasure chest unless we find we're missing something at the end game. But we need to just remember that it's there. It's faster than swimming back. So Going in here with half magic, blue mail, and cane and fire rod is pretty good. You technically don't need the fire rod if you've got bombos. Piece of heart is held by someone friendly. Wow, thanks. All of the hints have been terrible so far, unfortunately. So technically we may not even get boots. It's actually not a required item. Compass. The green ones are joke hints. There's always a few of them built in. There's technically a large skip you can do here. But since we're still looking for items, we don't want to do it anyway, and also I'm really bad at doing it. Seriously. It's one of my least favorite rooms in the game, and I totally screwed it up. So it's possible to leave the switch flipped and then use a bomb to push yourself across the gap there, which keeps the switches flipped in a more productive way. We don't have the big key yet. No big key, no point in bombing the floor. By the way, just for the record, while I did not do that on purpose, I very much do not mind being 1 health down. Combos, nice. Being 1 health down is actually very beneficial because you don't accidentally hit enemies with the beams of your sword. The sword beams do damage equal to, I believe, the fighter's sword all the time. So that one, while it sounds useless, arrows and bombs, is actually really useful because it says they require a big red bomb. And what that means is we don't need to go into the pyramid. Normally, once you've beaten two certain dungeons, you can go get a big red bomb and use that to bust into the pyramid. We know that there's nothing useful. Big key. That's actually a really good place to find it. Or a relatively good place to find it, at least. Still don't have the map. So there's still a few good items out there. I think we need one more small key. Maybe? There's the map. Flip through the block there. Just the small key we needed. That item turns this from one of my least favorite dungeons to one I'm totally okay with. One bombos shot takes out the ice. Didn't quite corner him, but we still had a really good pattern there. Anytime you can hit more than one of them with the fire rod at the same time is good. So you start off by doing that spin slash to knock them all kind of the same direction. So you can just fire off. I mean, the people who are really good at it can get that angle just right so that it knocks them kind of into the corner. Did we actually get something useful from that? Bombos. I have this awful gut feeling that Bombos might be required for Turtle Rock. Is that what we've got left? I mean, it's basically what we've got left, yeah. We don't have the bow yet. Unless it's ether. So Turtle Rock you generally don't want to do right now. You want to save it for last so that you can do it and then immediately go over to Ganon's Tower, because it saves you one trip up that mountain. It's not like I'm worried about doing the dungeon. I mean, having half magic and blue mail. Yeah, the one thing I'm looking at is, I mean, even like the hallway, the laser eye hall. So another fun glitch with blocks, when you're pushing them, if you use the mirror, it will make them stop existing. Moment of truth. We need to find out whether we can actually get into Turtle Rock or not. Bombos. Called it. So the neat thing there is, of course, this was in the Ice Palace, so you have to do Ice Palace before you do this. Yep, it is. Okay. So this is the longest, possibly most obnoxious dungeon. Despite how big it is, it actually doesn't have that many treasures for how much time it takes. Which is one of the reasons that I generally want to put it off. We're not going to have Mirror Shield because we've only got the blue shield currently, unless we find 2 shield upgrades in one dungeon. So we're just going to have to go through all those eye doors backwards. Let's see if we can do the quick version of this. Big key and blue key. Just the progression we need. Pots are always the same, so if you see me going after specific ones to get magic refills, well, it's probably at least partially habit, because I need a lot less magic refills in this than I would in a normal run. Half magic. Just for the record, half magic is very, very often in Ganon's tower in this. Because it's not required for progression. It's generally a very late game item. There's a lot of those that tend to be later game. A lot of times bow is late game because it's only required for certain things, whereas something like hammer tends to be earlier on because it is more prevalent throughout the game, so it unlocks more. Let's see if I'm remembering correctly. It did. Hooray. Miracles happen. Hate these caterpillar enemies. That ended up not being important. Well, yeah, those the caterpillar enemies are not that bad if you have the gold sword. They're really obnoxious with this, with the red sword, because you have to hit them so many times. So a lot of times I end up using fire rod instead, which is quite frankly overkill, and I know that. Spin slash also gets the same results. One hit. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. Worth taking the hit. Come on. I know it's possible to do this. I hate doing it. I'm very bad at it. I don't remember if you can use other things against them. Apparently you can, but it's not very useful. I only have one bomb left. Let's reset, and I just didn't think I was going to reset all of them. So this is weird, because normally they move opposite you. These ones seem to be moving the same. Left and right, at least. Which is problematic. I know you can do this. I'm just really bad at it, apparently. Oh, come on. Are you serious? That's janky. And probably not worth it. I take it back. That opens up like 3 things. So we still need the bow. I'm gonna be really mad for the record if Bo is in Palace of Darkness. There may be some salt. One of the few rooms where the boomerang gets to shine. One of the spots I always got stuck on as a kid, wandering around forever. Third path down. I used to think you had to put a block on that, which you don't. And then once you get past that spot, you just hold left. It's really simple. Great. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, good. Fairy. Oh. Oh. That was terrifying. We're gonna be patient here. For the record, one of the neat features they included in this... Oh my god, I don't have bombs. Oh no. So, there's a save point here, effectively, where you can go outside. I don't have bombs, so I actually have to do this in one go. So I have to be very careful here, because if I die, I have to go back through and do a whole large section again. Not that I ever die to this boss. I mean, realistically, I should be fine. I considered going back and getting another fairy, but I think full health, half magic should be okay. With Tempered Sword especially. Crap. For the record, I am still playing for it. In case there was any doubt. Oh my god, what's with that lag? That was weird. So we got our crystal. The real reward from that was the lamp. which we do need. That doesn't work in Dark World. You know what? I've got the money. Let's be safe. That's super overkill for the record. I'm probably not going to need it, but if I do, it's going to make me feel a lot better. Let's go back and just hit all of our lantern points quick. At this point, I'm assuming the bow is going to be in one of the either Palace of Darkness or Eastern Palace. We can technically go complete escape. But considering we're missing just one item, I'm kind of hesitant. Like, part of me is hesitant about checking, part of me is hesitant about not checking. Oh, we still need ether, too. Never mind. We'll go do escape. There's only a few treasure chests on this part of escape that we haven't gotten already. So we'll go partway in, safe put out. That was it, actually. Duh. That was the treasure chest we were missing. We want to do... Yeah, that works. Okay. So we're gonna head up to Palace of Darkness. At this point, it's still technically possible that the bow is in Swamp Palace, or that the bow is in Desert Palace, I believe. But we don't have the boots for Desert. We don't have the medallion, or yeah, Swamp is the only one. And it could be bow or ether. We could also technically have a double dip situation where ether is in one of these dungeons, but the bow is in Misery Mire. It's not super common to have to do that, where you have to go partway into one dungeon to unlock the next. Or to unlock the same dungeon, rather. So let's get our 100 rupees out of the way. Our last major purchase. the dungeon unlocked, and then because these are interconnected, we can go do the easy one first. This one also has more that you can unlock without a bow. We can get all but one treasure chest without the bow. Gold sword. Well, that would have been nice to get if I dipped in earlier. I could have gotten that right at the beginning of the game. I mean, it would have just been Master Sword at that point. But, yeah. Not what I want. If anything, I want one of those to be at the end game. Or at the boss slot. That was not necessary. Another little glitch. Normally that room spawns 4 skeletons. You can maneuver in such a way that it only spawns 2, and if you kill them, then it stops spawning them. So no big key yet, which means it's in the vanilla spot. Could be vanilla bow. So yeah, this room and this room are the ones that I can actually do in the dark without issue. They're pretty linear, and even though you can't really see the enemies, you can maneuver around them pretty easily. Or hold your sword out in front of you and kind of do the... That was me being lazy. You're supposed to be able to take a hit off one of the other enemies, use your invincibility frames to grab the pot without having to clear the whole room. If you don't get it on the first try, you're not really saving time, so yeah. Nope. Oops. I'm assuming at this point we're gonna have to dip into a second dungeon and come back. Okay, we're gonna try this weird key preservation thing. I believe there's more treasure chests this way than the other way, as long as you've got... Alright. Or if you don't have a bow. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I am wrong. want to say it's something like this. Nope. We need the bow for that. I'm dumb. There's some glitch you can do with the bottle. I actually just don't know how to do it. I thought you had just had to, like... not scroll the screen or something. Oh well. Big chest. Yeah, if I don't get another key, we're not progressing, so... Even then, there's only a few spots we can go without a second key. Or the bow. This dungeon is deceptively long and complex. Okay, so this should give me 2 chests. Three. So one of them's the key. That's unfortunate. And 2 over here. Got the big key, right? Yeah. Yeah. 3? Compass. I hate this maze. Okay, that's what we can do. About the bow. So I guess we're doing swamp. Swamp and desert technically could both have it, but there's only like one treasure chest in desert. Swamp actually has a very high amount of treasure chests. There's a few other random overworld spots we haven't hit yet. We still don't have the purple chest because I screwed up so bad. Boots are in Ganon's tower. Hopefully we don't need them, but... Technically, you could still have boots required. So yeah, Swamp's a little long, but it does have a lot of treasure chests, so should be okay. Key, so we don't flood it. One of the nice things with this dungeon is a lot of the keys are in pots, which means you know where they are. You don't have to try and figure out the order as you go. Like, Misery Mire is the opposite there. There's tons of keys in the treasure chests. And that leaves you kind of having to figure it out. But in this one, we know this is a key. Random other thing I didn't mention, when you hookshot something, you get pulled through enemies. You don't take damage. It doesn't interrupt you. I just about flooded that key. That would have been really bad. If you raise the water before you get this key, you have to completely exit and, like... I can't remember what you have to do to reset it. It's really annoying, though. You may have to save it out, like outside the dungeon and re-enter. Part of me is kind of assuming we're gonna find Ether here, and then have to do Misery to get the bow. Wow, that was a worthless western wing. No big key means we may have to backtrack to get the big chest, especially now we don't have map or compass yet, so we're good. There's a decent chance that the big chest is going to be map or compass, or its own big key, because this is another one where you don't need the big key for the boss. The big key door is like right over here, and the reason, there is no big key door because to get over here, normally you need to have the big key to get that chest, to get the hook shot, but since it's randomizer, we already have the hook shot, so we can just bypass it. If this was a required dungeon, and you already had all the items you need to beat the game, you can actually just skip pretty much the whole dungeon just by going straight to the boss with the hook shot. Because you don't need to open any treasure chests. Same with Lost Wood. You can go directly to the boss if you've got the fire rod. But since we're still looking for items, of course it's the map and compass. Which means the big key is either in the big key chest or in the boss. Or in this one other chest. I'm hoping we just don't find it. Which means it's in the big key chest. Ether. There we go. We're not gonna forgo this because there's a chance it's the bow, and I don't want to take any risks and have to redo the whole dungeon. If it is the bow, that means that we're set to just quick clear pretty much everything else. He always spawns where you are and moves down and right. Of course it's the big key. Yeah, let's do it. If we have to come back, we'd have to drain the swamp again and do all the mirrors back and forth. I think I'm just gonna save quit out after this, though. Take another break. I've got some stuff to do. I was expecting it to be done by now. This was supposed to be a nice, quick, good run. You know, like Zelda Randomizer is always very cooperative with. Okay. So, hopefully you're still enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Be back next time to hopefully finish it up. Have a good one.